morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Today's a very exciting day. We're going to be continuing our math lessons, talking about fractions today. You may remember in the past episode we read a special story about a squirrel that made a pie. And do you remember what happened in that story? She had a lot of friends that came around wanting a piece of that pie. That book was actually talking about fractions. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. First, I am feeling a little peckish, a little hungry. You know what I want? I want some of that candy that I talked about on Monday. Let me have some. Oh, but I gotta remember, I can't have a whole lot of candy in one day. Let's see, I'll pick out 4 pieces. You know, just for fun, let's make them 4 different colors. Yep, picked out my special pieces. And here they are. I have a red one, a yellow one, an orange one, and a green one. Oh, they look delicious. Like how much there is in my hand. I say them all. Oh, very tasty. You ever taste chocolate or candy that just tastes so good that you just wolf it all down? But you know what? I'm kind of sad now. I'm done eating it, and I can't have any more today. I gotta wait till tomorrow. But I want more. Oh yeah, sure, I'm a grown-up. But even grown-ups set limitations for themselves, you know? Oh, geez, I want more. Oh well. Well, there'll be more tomorrow. Maybe I should think of something better to do on Friday. I don't know. What do you think? Oh well. What's done is done. Let's move on with our agenda for today. First, we check the time. Oh, there you are. Almost thought we lost the clock. All right. So, we always start the show, or try to start the show at 10 o'clock. Whoops. The red hand should be on the 10, and the blue hand should be on the 12. That indicates 10 o'clock. As of right now, with the intro running and how long it took us to get set up, it is 10:12. So we move the big hand, the big blue hand, from the 12 down to the 2 and pass it just a little bit. And that's what the blue hand looks like right now. It's just past the 2, the big 2. I'm going to write that down. Put it in a different format that we can read. Do you happen to remember what that was called? It was a 3-syllable word. Analog. And then down below we have the digital. All right. So, our little hand is on the 10, and you can see down at the bottom I wrote the number 10. And then the big hand is on the 12, and that's written down there in blue. So it's 10:12. Well, that took a whole minute to do, so now it's 10:13. Time flies when you're doing anything. So it's 10:12. All right, let's move on with the show. Now the agenda. There you go. Whoop. Alrighty, and I think we're going to have some exciting time today. Our story for today is going to be by Dr. Seuss. Have you ever heard of Dr. Seuss? He's read a lot of books, a lot of silly naming books. I read his biography one time, which is just a fancy word of a story about himself. and it was very interesting. So today's story, the flip book. After that, we will have fun with a special guest and fractions. And then finally, our folk tale. So let's get the marker. We're right there. On story. That's what we're about to read. Here it is. Why do you think we're reading about feet? Kind of a silly random thing. Because we have a certain number of feet. How many feet do we have? 2. That's right. Good job. Everybody say 2 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet. We all have 2 feet. All right, we're going to read about that now with Dr. Seuss. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right. Feet in the morning, feet at night. Left foot, left foot, left foot, right. Wet foot, dry foot, low foot, high foot, front feet, back feet, red feet, black feet. Left foot, right foot, feet, feet, feet. How many types of feet you meet? Slow feet, quick feet, trick feet, sick feet, oof, oh, oh, me. Up feet, down feet. Here come clown feet. Small feet. Big feet. Here come pig feet. His feet. Her feet. Fuzzy fur feet. In the house and on the street. How many, many feet you meet. It's a lot of different feet. Up in the air feet. Over a chair feet. More and more feet. 24 feet. Oh, I gotta count this. Let's see if this is legit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. Yep, it's in fact a total of 24 feet. Here come more and more feet. And more feet. Oh my goodness. So many kinds of feet. All these different creatures with all sorts of different kinds of personality with their feet. Left foot, right foot. Feet, feet, feet. Oh, how many feet you meet? Whew. Granted, this is one of the shortest Dr. Seuss books out there, in my opinion anyway. Might very well be the truth. Alright, let's check story time off of our list. Which marker do we want to use today? How about the green one? We haven't used the green one in a while. Alrighty. So we move the marker from story down to fun. Alright, and you getting ready? Get those wiggly fingers out. Get ready to check it off with me. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, and check. Alright, on to the fun. Now our very special guest. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Our special guest today, teaching us about fractions, is Micky Mouse. Do you know about Micky Mouse? He's a lot of fun, isn't he? Who else do you know about his friends? What other friends does he have? Besides you, of course. Goofy and Daisy, Pluto, his dog, Donald Duck, and Minnie Mouse. Well, we're going to hang out with them a little bit today. All right, hang tight. We're going to have a short intermission. We'll be right back with Micky Mouse and his friends. All right, get pumped, get excited. Go get you some stuffed animals to share the show with. Drag your friend or your brother or sister in, and let's have fun with fractions. Welcome back, friends. While we headed out, Auntie decided to join the show. A little bit late than never, right? Hi, friends. Nice to see you. Gonna poke my head up here. He's like, hi. In front of the pizza? Yeah, in front of the pizza. Hey, friends. Hope you're doing okay. Happy Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday. Okay. We're ready to start the show? I guess so. So we got a pizza here? Yeah. Why can't it be a pie? It could be a pie. How about a pizza pie? Before we move on, though, I gotta tell you another joke. Oh, Auntie, you and your jokes. Right. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 ate not. An oldie but a goodie. Absolutely. Alright, so, to start things off, we are going to pretend that this is a pizza pie. This is our green pizza. Do you see the number? The number 1. It is one whole pizza. Right. As you can see here, it's a circle, just like we talked about before. Let's get that light out of the way. It's a perfectly round circle. Now, let's say that we are by ourselves. In fact, it's our friend Micky Mouse that has cooked and made and organized his pie just perfectly so, right? And here he is. Look how proud he is of that pizza pie. Oh, that is one pie. Smells delicious. One delicious pizza pie. Oh, this is too good to just eat all by myself. Besides, if I ate it all by myself, I'd have myself a tummy ache. Alright, so Micky Mouse doesn't want a tummy ache, does he? No. So he's going to share. So here he is with his one pie. Let's see. So he calls up one of his friends, and he lets them know that he has a pizza pie. Let's say he calls up Minnie Mouse. Oh, hello. Gosh, that is a swell-looking pizza, Mickey. Oh, thanks, Minnie. But it's only one big piece for one person. Right, she's right. There is only one pizza pie in front of them. So this is what we would do. We would very carefully get something to cut up the pieces and make it the ability to share. So we take away the one pie and we get 2 half circles to represent 2 sides of a pie. Now there's enough for 2 people. So Mickey and Minnie can have exactly 1/2 of a pie. Well, depending on how big the pie is, that still might be a lot for one person. Have you ever seen how big a large pizza pie is? Yeah, how about a small one? A small one might do you just fine to eat all by yourself. But what if this was a really big pizza? As you can see here, we have 2 numbers. We have a 1 and then a line and a 2. This means 1/2. I'm sure you've heard that terminology before. Half. It's when you're sharing with somebody. You both have the same amount, and it's just one other person you're sharing with. Well, let's pretend that there's a doorbell. On the count of 3, can you say ding dong with me? 1, 2, 3. Ding dong! And where there was 2 pieces, we're going to see if we can make more. Because at the door was our good friend, Daisy. Hi, guys. What's going on here? I didn't have anything better to do, and the movies were kind of boring, so I wanted to see what you guys were up to. So Daisy decided to come over. Well, how many friends are there now? Including Mickey. There are now 3 friends. Yeah, I see them right there. 1, 2, 3. But are there 3 pieces of the pizza pie to share? Now when a friend comes over, we don't just eat our food in front of them. If they happen to come over around mealtime, we can offer to share. Let's put this on here a little bit better. Oh, yes, I would love some food. All I had at the theater was popcorn. I would love some pizza pie to go with that. That's what Daisy says. All right, so let's take away those pieces. And we're going to replace that circle. First it was a green circle with just the number 1 for one person. Then it became 2 pieces to make a circle that is blue. But now, Miss Mithrill's favorite color, we're going to take these 3 triangles, these kind of lopsided triangles, and make 1, 2, 3 pieces. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Oh, yes, I can divide it up one more time and have a big piece for you as well, Daisy. That sounds great. Thanks, Mickey. Hi, Minnie. Hi, Daisy. All right, so now we have that same circle before, but with 3 big triangular pieces. We're able to divide it into 3 parts. This is what you call 1/3. Have you ever heard the third before? You might have heard it in a date, like the 3rd of October, or the 3rd of August, the 3rd of July. There's a 3rd date in a month, or there's even the 3rd hour in our day, like 3 o'clock. So they would take each 1 piece for themselves, and they would be able to share that really big pizza. And that is what you call fractions, my friends. Now, we're just demonstrating between 3 friends, but believe it or not, there are many, many, many different kinds of fractions. The pieces get bigger and bigger as you go. For a real pizza, there's usually 8 pieces. So there's enough for 8 people. But for today, we just focused on these 3 numbers. 1, 2, and 3. Because those are the friends that came over to visit with Mickey. And that's our lesson on fractions. And look at this. It's Minnie with a clock, reminding us that it's time to go. Goodbye, friends. Thank you for inviting us over to join in your lesson today. I hope you had fun. Come back again soon. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see you on TV next time. See you there at the Mickey Mouse's clubhouse. Alright, friends, we'll be right back, and we'll finish up our episode for today with our folktale. Hang tight. Just how much I really like them and enjoy them, Miss Mitchell. I really like the orange ones and the yellow ones and the green ones and oh God, I just like all of them. And you know the best color of all is when they're all squished up in your mouth and they just they congeal into that weird brownish color, and then you go, and you feel it's all nice and buttery all over your tongue. Yeah, I guess I could have waited and shared. Yeah, sharing a piece would have been great. Well, I mean, I can't have any more today. But maybe you can. Yeah. Well, do you have a limit? No. Oh, when it's all gone. Well, I can't give you what's all gone, then I can't have any on Friday. Oh, this is true. This is very true. So you gonna share one with me now? Yeah. Do I get to pick the color? No, wait. I want it to be a surprise. All right, here we go. Close your eyes. Oh, right. Puppet. All right, then try to think of something else. Miss Mithil didn't remember to share her candy with me. And that's really ironic because all day we've been talking about sharing. Can you believe that? All right, you ready, Auntie? Yeah. Yeah. It's a brown one. Oh, tasty. Thank you, Miss Mithil. Alright, friends, well, I'm gonna give me a front seat and get ready for the folktale. You guys have a great weekend. Well, wait, rest of your week, I mean. And I'll see you on Friday, alright? Alrighty, let me close that back up real quick. What a day, huh? Alright, let's check the time real quick. And, ooh, it's getting a little cut off there, isn't it? And then we'll move on with our story. Alright, let's see. So flat, I can never figure out where it's at. That rhymed. Yeah, it did. Alright. Okay, so last time we checked the time, it was 10:12. Right now, it is 10:36. So, of course, we keep the red number, because it's still 10. To make 36, we're going to count by our 5s until we get to 35. Alright? So start from 1. If you know your 5s, go ahead and count with me. If not, that's okay. This is a good place to listen, to practice. Just listen. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we have to put it just after the 7. To make 37. And that is 10:37. That's the time right now. Make big 3 and a 7. 10:37. Okay. Now we're going to address our schedule real quick and then ready for the story. Alright, so our marker is on where it says fun. We're going to move it down to where it says tail. Ready for our big check mark? Again, we're doing the green one. Get your check fingers ready. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and check. Fun is done. Fun is done. Fun is done. We had fun today. Fun is done. Fun to done. Fun is done. Tail is on its way. Hey, hey! Alright. Today's folktale bears another unique name. We've read some stories with some people and characters with very unique names, haven't we? Today's story is called Peeboon's Golden Mountain. Put my little bookmark there on top of the flip book. Hundreds of years ago, in a village in the eastern part of Roet province, there lived an old man named Peeboon, which means meritorious old man. Well, that's a word I've never read before, honestly. And his name suggests Peeboon was one of the most respected and trusted men of his village. However, as he became older, his mind turned to ways by which he could become great and famous. Peeboon revealed none of his aspirations to his neighbors, and consequently none of them suspected he was not as wise as he seemed. One day, Peeboon said to the people of his village, "I have discovered a way to become rich. It is a way in which we can all share. That is, if you wish to become rich. Pibun knew that this would appeal to the minds of his neighbors, for they had to work very hard to raise their crops in the sandy soil near their village. He continued with his plan. This may sound absurd, but I know it is the truth. You must all go out now and gather stones. Put them in baskets and bring them all to one place. When the pile is hollow enough, the stones will turn to gold. At first the people would not believe him. They said to themselves, has Pibun lost his mind? Who ever heard of stones turning to gold? But others said, for decades he has given us good advice. Has he ever failed? Why don't we follow his advice this time also? Of course, it was the desire to become rich that lured the hard-working people of the village into Pibun's plan. Now the rich soil of Roet province is unusually sandy, so the stones are not very common. But the people of Pibun's village were undaunted in their efforts. They gathered all of the stones in the area around their village and piled them up. But still they did not turn to gold. One of the people said to Pibun, well, we have gathered all the stones around here, just as you said, but they have not turned to gold. Pibun did not hesitate to answer. Didn't I tell you that they would not turn to gold until you had exactly enough? It is clear that we still do not have enough stones for the miracle to happen. We must gather more. Then you will see. This satisfied the people, and they began traveling all over the province, gathering every stone in sight. They brought them back in carts, baskets, and enormous sacks, which they carried on their backs. But still their pile of stones did not turn to gold. One day, when the men of the village were seeking more stones, Pibun said to the women, I have learned something else. You all have pigs, cows, and buffalo. You must kill them today. In a dream, I learned that these very animals you own will soon turn into giants. The giants will steal your stones and make themselves rich. Then you will remain poor for the rest of your lives. The women obeyed Pibun. Immediately they ran out and took out every animal in the village, for they believed that every word that Pibun spoke was true. In the meantime, the men continued gathering the stones. They had missed the planting season, and the food was becoming scarce. And even if it had been the planting season, they could not have plowed their fields, for they had no animals to pull the plows. Their pile of rocks continued to grow, but no matter how hard they worked, no matter how many stones they collected, the pile never turned to gold. The village was at the point of starvation. All over the province, people were laughing at them. Finally, one of the men said, I am not going to gather one more stone. Look at us. Once we had farms and animals. We were not rich, but we had enough to eat. Now, we have nothing but piles of stones, and we're starving. Can stones really turn into gold? I had never heard of it, and neither has anyone else outside of our village. Pibun may have been wise once, but he is crazy now. He has tricked us. At first the people did not want to believe this man, but the more they thought about his words, the more they realized that he, not Pibun, was speaking the truth. So they ran out and caught Pibun. In anger over their folly and his deception, they killed him. From that day they called him Piba, which means crazy old man. After a few years, they began referring to him as Pibabun, which means crazy, meritorious old man. And although they remained exceedingly poor, except for their wealth of stones, they could laugh at their foolishness. Many, many years later, when the story of Pibabun was only a legend, in the same village there lived a strong young man named Monsalai. Monsalai fell in love with a girl in another village. Unfortunately, the girl's father was a very proud man. He looked at Monsalai and said, Look at your clothes. They are not fine. You are much too poor to marry my daughter. If you want to marry her, you must bring me proof that you are not poor. Bring me some gold. Monsalai was very sad indeed when he heard this. The words of the girl's father were true. He was poor, but he wanted to marry the girl, and he resolved to work until he had enough gold to please her father. He went to another town, and for 5 long years he worked very hard. At last he returned to the girl's whole house with his gold. Ha! Her father replied. Do you think 1 piece of gold, for that was all that Monsalai had, even after 5 years of labor, is enough for my daughter? Look at her! She is beautiful, too beautiful for 1 piece of gold. She comes from a fine family, too fine for 1 small piece of gold. "Why must I earn to be able to marry your daughter?" Mansale asked. Now the girl's father was very greedy, and he thought Mansale might be able to earn more gold if he really tried. So he said, "Do you see that hill of stones? When it is covered with gold, you will have enough to marry my daughter." Although the thought of earning that much gold was staggering, Mansale was determined to do so. Again he set to work, but this time he did not rest. He worked day and night for 3 months until he fell ill. All the money he had earned, except for his one piece of gold, had to be spent for a cure. When he had recovered, Mansale said to himself, "This is ridiculous. I will never save enough money to marry her. But not even if I work for 1,000 years, there must be another way." For several weeks, Mansale dropped out of sight. Then, one afternoon, he appeared at the girl's house. He said to her father, "I have nearly died working to earn enough gold for your daughter, but I have succeeded at last." Her father looked at the hill of stones and said, "There is no gold covering that hill." "Do not be impatient," said Mansale. "My gold has not yet arrived, but it will be here by sunset. I promise you that if you look at the hill at the sunset, you will see it's covered with gold." "And if it's not?" her father answered. "Then I will never come here again," Mansale replied. "But you do not have to worry. It will be. The gold is coming, and it will be here today." At sunset, the girl's father looked at the mountain. It glowed. It shone with the brilliance of gold. He could hardly believe his eyes. Just then Mansale appeared. "Well, do you see my golden mountain?" he asked. "Yes," the girl's father replied, elated. "You have kept your promise, and I shall keep mine. My daughter is your wife from this moment on. Now I must go to my hill of gold." "Why not wait until morning?" said Mansale. "It is late now. By the time you reach the hill, it will be pitch black. You might get lost or injured in the dark, or you might be killed by thieves." This was true. The man knew. What a clever trick. So there's the sun that's shining on the mountain. The sun shone so brightly that it made the mountain look like gold. He feared he might lose his gold, so he said, "But the thieves might steal my gold during the night." Mansale replied, "It will be there in the morning, I assure you. Trust me now as you have trusted me to produce the gold. I brought it from afar, and it was not stolen." This pleased the greedy father, and he said, "Very well, you may take my daughter." "Fine," replied Mansale, "and my mountain of gold is yours from this moment on." It was already dark, just as Mansale had warned, when he and his beloved left their house. But the darkness did not stop them. That night they traveled far away. The next morning the greedy man rose before dawn and began the trek to his hill of gold. As the sun rose above the hill, he noticed a very unsettling thing. The hill was no longer golden. It no longer shone in the light like gold. In fact, it looked like a hill of stones. "It must be the light that is wrong," he thought. But as he climbed higher and higher up the hill of stones, all he could see was rocks. "Has Mansale stolen my gold during the night?" he wondered. "Have thieves taken it? No, Mansale said it would all be here in the morning." By this time he was at the top of the mountain, and at this point he learned the truth. On a big rock lay one piece of gold. There had never been more than one piece. It was the piece that Mansale had offered months before. He had clearly placed the piece of gold on the rock, so that when the rays of the setting sun reflected off of it, the whole mountain would look like gold from the porch of the greedy father's home. The old man tore his hair wildly, screaming, "It's only a stone!" Over and over again he cried, "Only a stone! Only stone! Only stone!" Out of grief, he died on top of that mountain of stones, tightly clutching his one piece of gold. When the people of Mansale's village learned how he had made Pibaboon's prophecy come true, they named their hill, for it is not really a mountain, Stone Mountain, or in Thailand, Pudin. Many years later, a city was established beside the mountain. It was named Rock City, or Selapum, because there were many stones which could be used for building homes. And to this very day, the people of Selapum recalled the story of Pibaboon and Mansale and the mountain of stones. They said it explains why all of Royat province, Celebum, is the only place where stones are found, while the soil elsewhere is invariably sandy. Wow. Well, we just learned a lot about the city, oh, let me look back at it. We just learned a lot about the city of the province of this place. Riot, in the Riot province. I didn't know that it didn't have that many stones, but this explains that, and it explains why. You know, there are still stories out there of strange things that can happen, prophecy even, in dreams. Sometimes things are just not explained, and you have to go on a leap of faith, and decide for yourself if you're going to believe it or not. And these people, a long time ago, decided to gather all the rocks. Now, they might not have seen the riches that was going to come that very day to their town, but after what Monsalai did, they did indeed become very wealthy. It's just too bad that Pibaboon wasn't there to see it, huh? Oh, that's a little bit of the sad part. Well, as we talked about sharing today, I want to share a little bit of information. The pieces that were provided for our lesson today and will be available for future lessons to come were actually shared to me by a very kind lady. Her nickname is Mammy. And it's because of her that I was able to share this activity with you today in this fashion. And it has definitely warmed my heart. So I wanted to say thank you to her for providing these. And in the future, if there are any other need for fractions, maybe there's an older child like you that I can help teach about fractions with these, I'm going to remember her and her kindness. Remember to share as much as you possibly can. Don't share everything. No, don't forget about yourself. But remember that sharing brings joy to many hearts, including your own. That's the start of making friends, like Mickey Mouse and his friends. I hope you guys had a great time today's talk with fractions, and if you get the chance, if you come across a pizza or a pie or something to share, or you just have many of something, see how many different ways you can divide it up into those fractions and share them. I'd love to hear of your results. But until then, have a great day. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. Bye, friends. This is Miss Mithril tuning out for today. Oh, wait, you almost forgot. Can't say goodbye yet. We didn't check off our tail. See that? Miss Mithril's getting better about it. You ready to check it off with me? Here you go. 1, 2, 3, and check. All right. Now our day is complete. See you next time, friends. Take care.